Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. College football and NFL playoffs are coming. The NCAA tournament's coming. College World Series. If you're a Vol fan, now suddenly that matters to you. Football season's back around. If you want to make 2022 more enjoyable in your home, get to Games and Things. Talk to them right now about home theater seating. That's where I got mine a couple of years ago, and I love them. Games and Things, they are the specialists in this town or all across East Tennessee. You can find them at ourgameroom.com, but if you go in there, they have a showroom where you can just try them all out. Home theater seating, that's the name of the game, and Games and Things is the place that carries them because life should be fun. These guys make it fun. Trust me on that. Games and Things. Okay, question number 11 as we're going through our 20 questions here today. For it to be called a successful season, what do Josh Heupel and the Vols have to accomplish in 2022?
Beat Florida, and get one more win at least than when they got this year.
So win 8 games and beat Florida.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go with that. Got to do that and recruit. Yeah.
I'm going to go a little bit different direction. I don't think you have to beat Florida, but I do think 8 wins, and I think you need to hold serve against the people that you beat this year. Don't lose to Kentucky or South Carolina or Missouri. I still think there's a little bit of forgiveness for Georgia and Alabama, and if you go to Pitt and win, which they've lost their best player, and you still lost to Florida, I think people would still generally consider that a success.
Now, Pitt's getting a transfer in there at quarterback who is supposed to be pretty good, but we'll see how he steps in.
Everybody's getting a transfer.
Yeah, exactly. You still got the advantage, though, in having Hendon Hooker back for a second year. At LSU is going to be tough. You put them in back-to-back against Alabama. That makes that schedule a little tougher in terms of improving that overall record. But Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to start with Bob. I think Kentucky, Missouri, South Carolina, you still got to you got to be ahead of them and stay ahead of them. They've had, Kentucky's improved tremendously here, but Tennessee is kind of still got their numbers. So you got to do that, and Sterling's Florida win is icing on the cake.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
good.
You also, I think, have to make up some ground against Georgia and Alabama. You can't be losing 28 points to Alabama in year 2. You can't lose, 24 points to Georgia in year 2.
And we're going to beat them.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Question number 12, moving right along. We have seen 1 year of culture building, team building, coaching up, overcoming injuries, recruiting at a top 15 level. That's all good. It's only 1 year, though. As we know, if every coach did the exact same thing every year, you wouldn't have guys getting fired. Dan Mullen would still be at Florida, Ed Ogeron would still be at LSU, so things change. That said, A's, B pluses, A minuses, that's been the grade for Heupel all along. Yes. Mike said an A earlier today. What do you still want to see, though, moving forward? If there's anything where it's like, I've only 1 year, I'm not all in this area. He's got to prove himself here. And I'll give you the obvious one, in-state recruiting. I think he's laid down the groundwork, and that should be better next year. But to me, I want to see if he can do the in-state recruiting. Is there anything that you're still saying, okay, he's got to prove to me X?
I tell you what, I'm still going to hang around with some player evaluation because they went into the season with Joe Milton as the starting quarterback. Was it only because of the injury that he took or he got against Pittsburgh that you changed? And so to me, that's a pretty big question at the most important position on your team is you seem like you had misread that one for weeks, and then did you get it right because maybe a little bit of luck involved? So let's not sing too many hosannas yet because they did have a pretty wide gap on, I think, what made them successful. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not taking a knock at Joe Milton.
I think for mine it's going to be player development. Even towards the end of the season, you saw your offensive line performed without Cade Mays on it. Your running game kind of went away. I want to see if other players continue to have the Hooker success or the success our receivers had. Can we continue to see Coach Gardner's guys do better on the defensive line? Can you still put an offensive line together that can run the ball next year? So I'm not all in on if they're really developing the players as far as they need to.
Very quickly, I need one-word answers at this point if anybody has anything else.
I do. I have one word. Hopefully keep the coaching staff together because I believe continuity
gets rid of
word. And big.
Continuity is the game within the game.
The game
Yeah.
within the game, during the game.
Continuity.
You got to win that.
Mike, do you have a one-word?
Recruiting, in-state and out-of-state.
Very good. All right, when we come back, what is the Cavaliers line for Tennessee versus Purdue? And how will we pick that game? And we got some stats for you to look at. Then we're getting into basketball. We got Isaiah Victor's going to join us. We're going to talk about Tennessee's big win over Arizona. What's it going to take in March for the basketball team's season to be considered a success? We got lots more to come. Come on back on the Sports Source.